I would say this is missed opportunity because the figure could have been a lot better. Hello and welcome back to excluding Studio. I'm Steven. Today's video is a figure review of a figure that was released 2.5 years ago. Yes, this figure of Musashi over here was released back in late March year 2020 during the early days of the pandemic. So that's 2 years and 6 months since her release date. So why am I reviewing the figure now? Is it because I just purchased her right now? Actually, I bought her exactly a year ago. Yeah, which is 1 year after her release. I bought her around last year, October also, exactly 1 year ago, for a discounted price of about 145 US dollars. Yeah, this figure was released for 20,000 yen, but you need to remember just a year ago. Yeah, the Japanese yen was 20 to 25% higher than today's exchange rate. So during that high exchange rate back then, to get this figure for 145 US dollars, which is under 700 Malaysian ringgit, that was an absolute steal because local stores here in my country, they are selling this for a whole $50 higher. So I decided to grab one, though I shoved this figure into my cabinet and forgotten that she even existed until a couple of weeks ago when I'm moving stuff into this studio. Why not review her today? Because I have already reviewed Outer's Miyamoto Musashi and also Kotobukiya's version a few months ago, so might as well review all three of them, and then later on I can even come up with a comparison video of all three and see which one you like best, just in case you can't afford all three but you are interested in a figure of Miyamoto Musashi. So let's get on with this figure right here. This is Phat Company's 1x7 scale Miyamoto Musashi, a Saber class version from Fate's Grand Order. She was released, as I mentioned earlier, March 2020 for a recommended retail price of 19,800 yen. Let's round it off and call it 20,000 yen. That's before taxes and shipping. And back then in year 2020, yeah, 20k Japanese yen is equivalent to almost 190 or 200 US dollars, making this a rather pricey figure. Yeah, I would say this is a very expensive figure given what you're getting as an entire package from the box to the actual figure itself, which I will elaborate more in a minute. This is also the only scale figure of Miyamoto Musashi available in the market. If you are looking for her Saber class, your only other option are price figures by Banpresto, for example. That one is also fairly overpriced, $50 or $60, and the quality is kind of average even by the standards of a price figure, yet it costs double the usual amount for a price figure. Okay, before that, let's take a quick look at her box. This is what her box looks like, and for a figure that is supposed to cost 190, 200 US dollars, this is pretty underwhelming, to be honest. The box is not very solid, not protective of the figure at all. If the courier decides to play basketball with your parcel, yeah, this figure is a goner for sure. I would like to see a slightly better packaging for a $200 figure. Though at a compact size like this one, yeah, she will not cost too much to ship. Moving on to the actual figure, I would say that her pose is very plain and boring, but at the same time, this is just Phat Company following the original artwork of the character, so nothing much can be done here. The face expression, the head, which is the most important part of any figure, yeah, very accurate compared to the official artwork. And then the outfit of this figure. This is possibly the best part of this figure, almost. There are a lot of intricate details going on with vibrant colors, very colorful. From the torso all the way to her legs, there are a lot of things to appreciate the amount of details present on this figure. However, this is also where the figure falls short a lot. I mentioned that this figure for $200 is too expensive for what you're getting, and this is exactly why. Look at all of the paint flaws due to poor quality control on Phat Company's behalf. From the top of her head where there are paint blotches or scratches, over to her right leg, where you can see someone seemed to have touched the figure before the paint has even dried, so some of the blue colored paint is gone. Yeah, this is really poor quality control, which is very unfortunate because the figure is so detailed. If only the paint job is just as well done, right? And then on the front, in the mid area over here, yeah, the gold color trims, yes, they are very fine, they are very thin, but at the same time, it looks pretty rushed, right? There is some paint bleeding going on. Unfortunately, this is something Phat Company is very well known for. They are infamous for this kind of quality control issues. This is not the first time and it won't be the last time either. In fact, I was very interested in their Hokusai figure and that thing cost over 30,000 yen today. I read a few reviews on Amazon Japan and my initial impressions were not good because there are people complaining about quality control, but once again, this is not something that happens to every copy of this figure because it is a quality control issue. I want that Hokusai figure very badly despite the risk of buying one, as we already know about Phat Company's inconsistency over the years. They have never really improved much. So, should I really buy one of those Hokusai figures? Let me know down in the comments below. But personally, I want one a lot. I want one very badly, yes. So, with this figure of Musashi, I would say this is missed opportunity because the figure could have been a lot better without having to do much on Phat Company's behalf other than improving on their quality control. At the same time, there is this very weird scenario going on in the figure market involving this figure of Musashi by Phat Company, where over in Japan, maybe because she is very popular and regardless of the quality issues, there is a high demand. Her aftermarket value today is very expensive. She is going for at least over 30,000 yen today, pre-owned. Yes, she is very expensive right now. But at the same time, over in China, let's say you buy this figure from China's e-commerce website Taobao, this figure is almost unwanted by every collector over there that they had to fire sale this figure. That is how I got this figure for cheap, for $145, because nobody wanted to buy it and the sellers there had to give big discounts just to move away, just to clear the stock of this figure of Musashi. In fact, if you were to check out this Taobao website, you can still find quite a number of sellers selling this figure in stock for not too much money. So at the end of this video, the conclusion for this review of Musashi by Phat Company, she would be almost perfect without all those paint related issues because the sculpture is already there, right? The sculpture was already very good. If you check this figures entry over in myfigurecollection.net and you go through those pages of comments at the bottom, you can see quite a number of users complaining about the quality control of this figure as well, so I am not the only one. But the problems faced by these people, they can vary from person to person. The problems on this figure can be different on every copy. So this is obviously, once again, quality control issues. I wish that Phat Company will really do something about their production line over here and become better in future, because obviously their latest FGO release, Hokusai, is also kind of questionable. Yeah. That is all about the review of this figure of Musashi by Phat Company. If you have anything to ask, please let me know down in the comments below, and thank you very much for watching today's review. I shall see you guys again soon. Goodbye.